So the next chapter is Introduction to Java. So in the previous chapter, we have studied about mainly about object-oriented programming approach, and this is Java programming also follows object-oriented programming approach. Okay, so all of you know that Java is a programming language, and this language is mainly used for developing two things. For developing first one is applets, and second one is application. Okay, so this Java programming language can be used for development of these two things: Java application and Java applets. Now, what are these two things? So listen carefully. So Java applets are also programs written in Java language, but these programs are used in web pages. Means you all know that HTML we use for designing web pages. So in HTML, Java applets can be implemented there in order to make the web page more dynamic. So do you know static content and dynamic content in the web pages?
No, sir.
Don't know.
No, sir.
Okay, no problem. So the content displayed in web pages that can be a static as well as dynamic. So a static keyword means that remains something remains fixed. Okay, and a dynamic means the content there will change as per the user's preference. So now I'm going to show you these two things uh, with help of web page. So whenever you open our school's website like ST Maris School bxr.org. No? Yes. So whenever you will open this website, so do you see any changes here in this web page from the previous session?
No,
Is
sir.
there any change you can specify from the previous session? Means every
No,
time
sir.
any of you or me or any other user, whenever we open this particular web page, this web page will appear same in all our computers or smartphone. Okay, so this is called a static content in the web page. Okay, now I'm going to open another website, and there you will see the dynamic content. So here I am going to open AccuWeather. It is a website that is used for finding weather forecast information. Okay, so here you can search the location. For example, I am searching weather forecast for the Buxar. So here you can see information uh, related to the weather for the Buxar. And if any other user open this same website and search for another city, so this information will appear differently na, to that user maybe. or not?
Yes, sir.
Means here in this web page, the user preference is actually determines the content shown here in this web page. Means if I am searching for the Buxar, it will show a particular information. But if I check for Patna, Delhi, or any other city, so it will show different information. No? So this is
Yes,
called
sir.
dynamic content. Okay, means for different user, this same web page will display different information. But if you open this particular web page, it will be same for every user. No? So this is called a static content, and this is called dynamic content. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So a static content in a web page can be created using HTML, CSS simply. Okay. But in order to create dynamic content on any web page, we have to include some other programming languages also, like JavaScript, PHP, or we can include Java programming also. So if we include a program in our web page to make the web page dynamic, so that program is actually applet. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So using Java applet, we can program a web page such that that web page can take users input, and based on that users input, it will display different information. Okay, so Java can be used to develop applets, and the second thing is applications. So application, if I am saying, it means a simply software that is running in uh, a computer or in any smartphone or mobile. So that is called application. So Java can be used for development of applications also. So applications are only meant for mobile or computer, but applets are only meant for web pages. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any question?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, now we have to study only about the applications. Okay, in our class 9. Okay, now come to this Java applications. So Java, what are the different types of Java applications? So it can be servlets. Second, it can be Swing applications. Next, it can be uh, JAR, that is Java Archive. And fourth can be mobile applications. Okay, so servlets are basically used for server computers. Means these are the special applications that can be executed by only servers. So server actually means a particular operating system only meant for that type of computer system that is handling users or clients request. It means if we are accessing any web page, then we are actually the client and the provider, or the web page coming to us from the a special computer that is called server. So on that type of computers, servlets are executed. Understood or not? Just tell me. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Understood this servlet or not?
Understood, sir.
Please continue.
Unable to hear some of the voices clearly.
No, it's
Listen,
not clear.
listen 1 second. Servlets are actually applications only for servers. Do you know servers? Do you know server?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So server is actually a particular, you can say a computer that is meant for serving the request from the user or clients. So if we are accessing any internet facility, it means we are the clients and we are sending request to server. So server will be there at a particular place, and those computers are meant for serving the requests from the client. So for example, if we want to view result from any education board, so we put our roll number and roll code there. So result is stored in a server. So server actually verifies the roll number and roll code, and if the result is available to that server, so that server will provide us the result. So servers are only meant for serving the request from the clients. And who are the clients? So clients are the computers or smartphone that is seeking information from the server. For example, if I am here putting any other location, or for example, Patna, it means I am putting a request to the server of AccuWeather.com. So if information is available to this AccuWeather.com server, so it will provide me the result. Okay. So this is
Yes, sir.
called server and client. So internet actually works on this mechanism of client and server. Okay, client only put the request to the server, and server provides the information related to the request made by the client. Okay, so Java servlets applications are designed for servers, and these applications responsibility is to display web pages to the or generate web pages for the clients. Okay, means we cannot use servlets application in our computer because we are not actually server. Okay, means our computer at our side are actually not servers, so we can't use servlets. Servlets can be used only in servers. For what purpose? To generate web pages according to the request made by the client. Okay. Next is Swing application. So Swing application in Java means simply GUI apps. Okay. So GUI apps in Java can be developed using Swing. Actually, Swing is name of a you can say API. I'll explain what is API in next or any other class. Okay. So Swing application in Java means simply GUI applications developed using Java programming language. So GUI application, for example, I'll show you an application calculator. So this type of calculator we can easily develop using Swing component in Java programming. Okay, it is called GUI app because here interface for interacting with this application is graphical. Means we we can see here several buttons for different purposes. Okay, so this is called GUI application, and this type of applications can be developed using Swing component of the Java programming language. Understood or not?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yes, sir.
Next is JAR, means JAR. It is actually Java archive files. So Java archive files are actually so first of all we should you should know that whenever we create any application using Java, so in that application several files we have to create there. That depends upon the size and complexity of the application. At at this time you are going to write only one program in one file, no? But if you have to create an application like a Swing application, then there is need of so many Java program files there. Okay, so after completion of that application, so all those files can be put together into a single file, and that single file is known as jar or Java archive. For example, if I show you any application, let me see if I have in my computer or not. Uh, so just see this example of WinZip 25. It is an application for compressing file. So here you can see only a single application of size 955 KB, na? But it is not actually a single file of 955 KB. But inside this application, there will be more than 10 or 20 files written in any programming language. But all those files are compressed together to make a single file. So this is like Java archive also. So in Java archive, so many Java program files are put together to make single file. That is called Java archives. Okay. Next is
Okay, sir.
mobile application. So Java programming language can also be used for developing application for mobile devices. For example, several games are developed using Java programming language for mobile, and other application softwares are also developed using this Java programming language, and all those applications are called mobile applications. So far we have seen total 4 types of Java applications. First one is serverlets. So these applications are developed for servers to generate or to serve web pages to the client. Next is Swing application, means simply graphical user interface applications developed using Java programming. Next is JAR. JAR means Java Archives, means several files of a single application are compressed together to form a single file that is known as Java Archive. And the last one is mobile application, means those applications developed for smartphones like games, calculator, calendar. So many applications can be developed for mobile platforms also. So those are called mobile applications. Now you can ask your doubt.
No doubt, sir.
What about others?
No doubt, sir.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. Now the next topic is phases of program execution. Phases of program execution in Java. So while whenever we have to create any program, first of all we write the code in any text editor. You already know about this.
Yes, sir.
So the code written by the programmer is known as source code. After writing this source code, what is the next step we do?
The compilation.
Yes, compilation process we do after completion of source code. So during compilation, what happens? What is compilation?
So converting of
Taking
high
up
level
the
and low level language.
Yes, compilation is simply means conversion of source code, means a high level language program written by the programmer into machine language. Okay, but in case of Java, there is some particular change here in case of Java. So in case of Java, during compilation, this source code uh, gets converted into uh, intermediate code. Intermediate code. Okay, it is also known as bytecode. Okay, in case of Java, this thing happens during compilation. Whatever the source code is developed by the programmer, that is converted into intermediate code, or it is also known as bytecode. Okay, after compilation means successful compilation, if I am saying, means this source code is free from errors. Okay, then we get this bytecode. Okay, and then we actually run this bytecode. Okay, run the bytecode. So during execution of bytecode, what happened? So just look here. During execution of bytecode, this bytecode gets converted into machine language. Okay. this bytecode get converted into machine language. And here this conversion is done by another translator that is called interpreter. Okay, means Java uses both translators, compiler also and interpreter also. So the compilers work here is to convert the source code into intermediate code or bytecode, and then uh, next step is interpretation. So interpretation is done by the interpreter translator, where it converts bytecode into machine code or machine language. Understood, everyone,
Yes,
or
sir.
not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
During
Sir, when example,
what
example.
in any other programming language like C and C++, only compiler is needed there. So their compiler convert high level language, means the source code, into machine language directly. But in case of Java, it happens in two steps. First, compilation is done by the compiler, and then interpretation is done by the interpreter. So it is required because in Java we have one advantage, that Java is platform independent. So why Java becomes platform independent, other languages are not platform independent? So we'll see this we'll see this answer in our next class.